51 days from the election, and together with their running mates,
It's
Vice
fucking
President Kamala Harris.
psychotic, and it's not even going to make a blip because Donald Trump got shot at again. At this point, it's like JD Vance going to come out next week and be like, I'm a white supremacist. I love the Klan, and I think we should start killing black people. And then Trump's going to get shot at again, and people... Dana Fash actually cooked up JD Vance and gutted him, okay? Pitted his ass, and we're going to watch that. In this interview, you are going to hear JD Vance openly admit that he just lies. Like, he just deliberately lies about immigrants, okay?
51 days from the election, and together with their running mates,
It's
Vice
fucking
President Kamala Harris.
psychotic, and it's not even going to make a blip because Donald Trump got shot at again. At this point, it's like JD Vance going to come out next week and be like, I'm a white supremacist. I love the Klan, and I think we should start killing black people. And then Trump's going to get shot at again, and people are going to forget. You know? He didn't even get shot at, but you know what I mean. Every time JD Vance says some shit, Trump gets an assassination attempt on his ass. What the fuck is going on?
Harris and former President Donald Trump are focusing on the states that will decide the next president, with the race apparently deadlocked after what could be the only Harris-Trump debate. But Donald Trump is also doubling down on a baseless claim that he made at the debate, that Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, are eating people's pets. Local officials and the state's Republican governor say there is absolutely no evidence of that claim, and they are warning it is actually hurting their city. Springfield, Ohio is facing a fourth day of threats over the claims that have forced a college, hospitals, and schools to lock down. Meanwhile, Springfield police say they received 2 calls about Proud Boys marching through the city. Here's how Donald Trump responded to the controversy over Haitians, who, I want to note, are in the U.S. legally.
I don't know what happened with the bomb threats. I know that it's been taken over by illegal migrants, and that's a terrible thing that happened. Springfield was this beautiful town, and now they're going through hell.
Here with me now is Republican Vice Presidential nominee JD Vance, who represents Ohio in the U.S. Senate. Thank you for being here, sir. So the mayor of Springfield, Ohio, Rob Rue, said, quote, all these federal politicians that have negatively spun our city, they need to know they're hurting our city, and it was their words that did it. Before Donald Trump talked about eating dogs and cats on a debate stage, it was you, Senator, who first elevated this baseless rumor. These are your constituents. So why are you putting them at risk by continuing to spread claims about Haitian immigrants, despite officials in your state saying that there's no evidence and pleading for you to stop?
Well, Dana, first of all, what's putting the residents of Springfield at risk, which was a town completely ignored by the American media until Donald Trump and I started surfacing some of these concerns, is that they can't afford housing, they can't afford health care. The schools have been overwhelmed, the hospitals have been overwhelmed.
I wonder whose fault that is in the fucking state of Ohio. I wonder who's at fault in the red state of Ohio, plus 35 for Governor Mike DeWine, Republican Governor Mike DeWine, the state that you were a senator of as a Republican, the state that went to Donald Trump by plus 10 points. I wonder who is at fault for Springfield, Ohio, being in an absolute state of fucking disrepair. It must be the Haitian migrants or the Democratic Party. What is going on? You are the senator from the state of Ohio, you fucking idiot. Why are you like, Ohio's dog shit? It fucking sucks. It is the worst state of all time. It is in a dire state of disrepair. Nothing works there. I hate it. I hate it so much. Oh, wait, I'm the fucking senator from that state. I am directly responsible for its sucking dog dick. I'm so stupid for saying the state that I'm a senator of actually fucking sucks because it's my fault that it fucking sucks because I don't do anything to help them. But they're so stupid, they voted for me because they're stupid. They're stupid and racist in Ohio. That's why they voted for me. I'm stupid and racist. I'm a stupid racist guy, and I fucking hate the people of Ohio. That's basically what you said. Okay? Thank you, Senator Jedediah Donaldson Vance, Senator from Ohio.
Overwhelmed, and they're overwhelmed because Kamala Harris allowed 20,000 Haitian migrants to get dropped into a small Ohio town of about 40,000 people, and it's completely overwhelmed the services. Now, you ask, why have I talked about some of the things that I've been talking about? Let me just say this. My constituents have brought approximately a dozen separate concerns to me. 10 of them are verifiable and confirmable, and a couple of them I talk about because my constituents are telling me firsthand that they're seeing these things. So I have two options, Dana. I can ignore them, which is what the American media has done for years to this community, or I can actually talk about what people are telling me. And of course, many of the things that the media says are completely baseless have since been confirmed. For example, I was told, Dana, that by the American media that it was
Yeah, also, it is a lie. Their tax revenue literally increased by 33% year over year since the fucking Haitians moved into town, because now they have active workers in the goddamn town for all of the jobs that needed workers. So he's such a piece of shit.
Baseless that migrants were capturing the geese from the local park pond and eating them. And yet there are 911 calls from...
Yeah, by the way, like, honestly, Daily Caller's former Daily Caller news anchor, Caitlin, whatever the fuck her name is, actually ripped JD Vance such a fucking good one in the spin room in the immediate aftermath of the debate, where she was like, okay, constituents will fucking call you and tell you Bigfoot is real. Are you going to fucking sit here and tell us Bigfoot is real in Ohio, dumb fuck? That was such a good take from Caitlin Collins, who used to work for the Daily Caller, which is it's Tucker Carlson's Daily Wire, okay? Daily Wire is Ben Shapiro's operation. Tucker Carlson's operation was the Daily Caller. Caitlin Collins, who is now at CNN, used to work there. The Daily Caller is so insane that they used to make compilations of people running over protesters in pickup trucks. That is the website that she worked for. Okay? That is the website that she worked for before working at CNN. The Daily Caller had to delete all of their running over protesters compilations after a fucking Nazi ran over a counter protester by the name of Heather Heyer in Charlottesville. They had to delete those videos because they realized, we're kind of celebrating, people murdering people. We're kind of celebrating domestic terrorism. Many people forgot. I have not, because I have that kind of autism in my head. Anyway, let's get back to JD fucking Vance.
Well before this ever became a viral sensation of people complaining about that exact thing happening. So my attitude is, listen to my constituents. Sometimes they're going to say things that people don't like, but they're saying things that people don't like because their town has been overwhelmed, and it's my job to try to fight for them and to protect them. Kamala Harris opened the border, and now these people are suffering. That's what I'm focused on, Dana.
Senator, I have to go through several things that you just said. First of all, the Clark County Sheriff and the Ohio Department of Natural Resources reviewed 11 months of 911 calls. They only identified 2 instances of people alleging Haitians were taking geese out of parks. They found 0 evidence to substantiate those claims. Also, other evidence that you have talked about, even you've retweeted alleged evidence.
Yeah, by the way, the Haitians are his constituents as well. Okay? I need you to understand something. He is a senator in the...
They found 0 evidence to substantiate those claims. Also, other evidence that you have talked about, even you've retweeted alleged evidence.
Yeah, by the way, the Haitians are his constituents as well. Okay? I need you to understand something. He is a senator in the state of Ohio. Those Haitians are refugees with temporary protected status. Okay? They have paperwork. They are not illegal immigrants. That is a lie. Even if they were, it wouldn't matter because they're still fucking human beings, but they're not even illegal. Okay? They literally are tax paying, legal, documented immigrants. Okay? Now, technically, they can't vote for him, but it doesn't change the reality that they're still his fucking constituents. Children can't vote. Do you think children are not JD Vance's constituents? Is JD Vance going around? Okay, well, maybe he is going around saying that children should be able to vote, or at least their parents should be able to vote. And also, he probably wants them to get to work anyway. But, like, he would never openly say that children are not my constituents. Actually, he might, because he's really bad at politics. And as a person who's really bad at politics, I could totally see him saying that with a straight face. Anyway.
Are unsourced social media videos from a different city, apparently no connection to Haitians. And this is from a conservative activist who offered a $5,000 reward for such things. And then going just backly to the schools and the hospitals and so forth being overwhelmed, nobody is disputing that the town of Springfield, Ohio, needs help. But you're not just a bystander. You're the senator from Ohio.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my God. Thank you, Dana Fash. Exactly. You're the senator of Ohio, the state that you just said is dog shit and needs desperate help. He's so fucking stupid. How is he so bad? It actually blows my mind how bad he is. You aren't Trump, little bro. Only Trump gets to go and visit these fucking places and be like, you people are dirty and disgusting. And they go, hell yes, brother, you're so right. We are dirty and disgusting. You don't get to do that. You don't have that charisma.
Instead of saying things that are wrong and actually causing the hospitals, the schools, the government buildings to be evacuated because of bomb threats, because of the cats and dogs thing, why not actually be constructive in helping to better integrate them into the community? Because there are a lot of employers there who say that the Haitian workers are helping fill jobs that they need desperately filled.
Dana, first of all, let me just respond to a couple of things that you said, but I want to start with something you said, which I think is frankly disgusting and is more appropriate for a Democratic propagandist than it is for an American journalist. There is no
Yo, that was...
To a couple of things that you said, but I want to start with something you said, which I think is frankly disgusting and is more appropriate for a Democratic propagandist than it is for an American journalist. There is nothing that I have said that has led to threats against these hospitals. These hospitals, the bomb threats and so forth, it's disgusting. The violence is disgusting. We condemn it. We condemn all violence.
Senator,
and
this
threats
happened
of violence.
after you and
But
President Trump were
Dana,
on.
He always looks like a German boy whose lollipop fell on the ground and is covered by ants. I don't know how else to describe JD Vance. Like, he just has that, like, typical, like, 60s, 70s, like, German child look to him. Mein Lolli! Oh, mein God! Mein Lollipoppen! Doesn't he look like that? I'm Daddy's little boy. I'm Daddy's little boy. How could this have happened to me? Mein Lolli. is disgusting. Yeah. That's him, especially without the beard.
On the debate stage said that cats and dogs were being eaten.
You asked a question, Dana, and I'm going to go ahead and answer.
It's funny because it's like, the question is so simple. It's like 0 bomb threats are happening in the city of Springfield. You lie about Haitians overtaking the city of Springfield and eating cats and dogs. Then the bomb threats start coming in. Springfield city officials say these bomb threats are happening because the Republicans have placed an inappropriate amount of attention on our city by claiming that Haitians are doing all this. Everybody knows what's going on. And he's like, how dare you? You are disgusting. You are disgusting for saying the truth. Why would you say the truth directly to my face? I am a little boy whose lolly has fallen on the ground and is covered with ants. And here you are being disgusting about this. Okay? Give me a new lolly now.
What we have said is that this town has suffered terribly under the policies of Kamala Harris. Now, you just accused me of inciting violence against the community when all that I've done is surface the complaints of my constituents, people.
Yeah, Dana should ask, like, don't you think that Haitians are also your constituents? Like, they're taxpayers, they're on TPS, they're working in the fucking factories. Like, just ask him that question. He's going to say no. But it's good to have that on the record.
People who are suffering because of Kamala Harris's policies. Are we not allowed to talk about these problems because some psychopaths are threatening violence? We can condemn the violence on the one hand, but also talk about the terrible consequences of Kamala Harris's open border on the other hand. Now, let me just fact check a couple of other things that you said, Dana, because it's important. You said that all of these migrants are in the country legally. They are in the country through what's called temporary protective status.
Right.
That is when Kamala Harris waved a magic amnesty wand.
Oh, so he does know that they're illegal. Okay. Wait, no, wait, I'm sorry. You know, Trump did that too, right? Like to the Venezuelans specifically. So it's kind of weird that he's like, Donald Trump is so funny because he directly caused this massive influx of Venezuelans escaping Venezuela by accelerating the sanctions regime on Venezuela with that purpose, by the way. They wanted to make the economy scream, and they did. So people ran away. And then Donald Trump also offered the Venezuelan migrants temporary protected status. The reason for why he did that is because that's what every American government has done. It's a classic State Department play. You try to destroy a country, and the migrants that escape that country, you offer them TPS. We did it with the Cubans, with the hopes that like we have an outsized anti-whatever country that is population living here, so that inevitably we can use that population here. Well, it's good for cheap labor too, but it's also specifically so that we can use those people that are now here against whichever country that we want to fuck even further, right? Like, if you ask most Cuban voters what to do with Cuba, they will say unhinged shit, like bomb it and destroy it, nuke the island, and give it to us afterwards. You don't have to look any further than the motherfucking mayor of Miami, who is of Cuban descent, who literally said this, by the way. Okay? So that's what they did with the TPS for the Venezuelan migrants, because they were like, well, they're leaving the country. They hate Maduro. We can use these guys against Venezuela down the line. Except now you're like, they're all criminal, rapists, drug dealer, gangsters who are taking over the apartment complexes. These Venezuelans that we gave temporary protected status to, that we literally fucking like forced out of Venezuela with our insane sanctions. Those guys are now the rapists that we brought into the country and gave TPS to. It doesn't make any sense. And it's not supposed to. Those guys are fucking, like, the Republicans are pieces of shit. And they're assholes. And they're racist. Also, now they're illegal, even though we gave them TPS.
Taking people and giving them legal status. That is not to say that they're here legally. That is a terrible indictment of her amnesty policies that have further opened the border and further caused terrible migration into this country.
You might not agree with the policy, and obviously you don't, which is totally fair and legitimate. There are policy disagreements all the time. But the fact is, it is the law because President Biden and Vice President Harris are. But I don't want to frankly go down this conversation about policy
Dana,
because
you made a point. You don't. I agree. You don't want to talk about policy.
No,
Dana,
what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about
instead of about the fact
Senator,
that Kamala
it was
Harris,
your
Dana,
distraction.
granted amnesty.
You were the one who started
level.
talking about eating dogs and cats.
Level.
You were the one who
Dana,
brought this
my
up.
constituents
The president
were the
said it
ones
to
who talked
60
about eating
million
dog and
people.
cats, and I talked about it because you were ignoring this community. My constituents talked about
Have
it.
you
And
been
it is
to
my
Springfield?
responsibility to surface their.
Oh my God. He's like, yeah, I made it up, dude. Sorry. Like, I made it up. He straight up said, and this is Sam Stein earlier in the interview, if I have to create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do.
Their concerns when the American media
Have you been to
ignores it.
Springfield?
Dana, I've been to Springfield probably 100 times in my life.
How about
I've taken my
recently,
children
since
to
you've
get
heard
ice
this?
cream at Young's Jersey Dairy.
Have you heard recently since you've
I
gotten these calls?
Have I been in the last 4 days?
No,
no,
I'm
I haven't
talking
been
about
in the last 4 days, but I've
since
talked
you've
to a lot
gotten
of
these
people
calls
in
from the
Springfield, Dana,
constituents.
and they're telling me this stuff is happening. Dana, would you like to ask me questions and then let me answer them, or would you like to debate me on these topics? I noticed that when you had Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, you gave them multiple choice answers.
And no one is even trying to assassinate Biden and Kamala. This man is a defense contractor. Fuck it. Let's put the CIA in there too. At Barack Obama. He might delete it. I hope they do. I hope he does. That'd be really cool if he did.
To the questions that you asked, and you allowed them to answer the questions. I'm happy to be here to talk about policy, but if you're going to interrupt me every single time that I open my mouth, then why am I even doing this? So please ask a question.
Yeah, JD doesn't understand the Trump playbook. You don't legitimize insane conspiracies by admitting they're false. You have to keep pretending they're true. Wait, did he delete it? Shut the fuck up. Did he actually delete it? You're lying. He didn't delete it. You guys debated me. Why would you debate me at the top of the hour when there's a 3-minute ad break coming for you? That's the real debate. Because at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. For $6, even though it's 30% off, or for free with a Twitch Prime. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky.
Question, and I'd ask you to be polite enough to let me answer it.
Yes, I am, and I think that if Kamala Harris and Tim Walz were making unsubstantiated claims that had racist undertones about people eating dogs and cats, I would, and they...
People in the comments saying this will be used against you. I don't give a fuck. Also, I'm joking. You think I meant like literally FBI, get this man? Like you think... Anyway, let's continue.
They didn't answer the questions about that, then I would have similar interactions with them. As you know, I am very grateful that you come on the show, as I am for other Republicans. But this is something that you're hearing from constituents. I did a lot of reporting. I talked to people in Ohio over the weekend, and they're really worried about these claims. The policies, yes, I am agreeing with you that what I heard is that there is concern that these migrants, there's a lot of them, and the integration isn't being done fast enough and well enough.
Why would you cave on that?
Aiden.
That's so dumb. God, Dana Fash, you suck.
Clark, who is an 11-year-old boy who was killed in Springfield last year. It was a car accident involving a Haitian immigrant. You said that he was murdered. His father said that's not true. It was an accident. Here's what he said to you.
Politicians, Bernie Moreno, Chip Roy, JD Vance, and Donald Trump. They have spoken my son's name and used his death for political gain.